Hey there, welcome to the garden. Got my watering can and I'm heading out here to do a little bit of watering in the greenhouse. I want to see how warm it is in there. I'm very curious. Ooh. And then I also have a few of the extra branches that I gathered when I was foraging to make those baskets for the front porch. So I was thinking maybe I'll try to make it look a little like put some greenery in some of the beds out here. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna open it up. Everything looks great. Such a happy space in here. It's so nice to come in here. Everything's holding the water pretty well, so that's good. So I'm just gonna water everything quickly. All right, I can basically get it done with one watering can. Although I kind of think I should make it just like a habit of bringing out two cans of water when I come out. So I'm also going to go through while I'm out here, just because I have a minute, and deadhead. Such an important part of getting really good blooms on violas and pansies. And I feel like if you're seeing them close up like this, it also just really helps just keep the overall look of them nice. Some container gardens, you're not seeing from close up, but if you're seeing any of them from really close, it's super easy to do. They're not hard to deadhead, and it'll make a big difference. You know, if you've got a big like span of them, maybe over, I don't know, maybe you just got like a in-ground planting or something, it's probably not as important. But yeah, like I'm going to be looking at these so close up. I want them to really be blooming and looking their best. And there's a lot of these that are kind of like, they have a lot of blooms on them, which is good. And I'm just throwing the dead bits back in the soil, because eventually I'm just going to compost all of this potting soil anyways. So that's maybe not super sightly, but we'll just put it all in this like one container here. So I'm going to take the spent blooms back as far as I can. They have not long stems, but you know, the typical thing. We want to make it look nice. And this is just gonna make this plant bloom and be even healthier. There we go. It's amazing what it does, because I mean, they still look pretty nice even with, you know, some spent blooms. I feel like they're fairly forgiving, but it always amazes me with this kind of flower just how much better it looks once you just do that little bit. And I do love to deadhead, so it doesn't bother me to do this. You just have to kind of make sure you know which ones are opening and which ones are closing. Okay, let's go see. I figured I'd put this little guy on the center, the table here. Ah, so fun. Okay, so I gotta remember to take these back to the house and bring them back with water. I don't want it to dry out, but it's nice and warm in there. It is significantly warmer inside that greenhouse than it is outside. It's kind of amazing because it's just the cover and there's just, you know, the heat of the sun. So pretty wild. Okay. So now I have these extra branches and I think I'm just going to try to stick some of them in some of the raised beds. I don't have enough like tree size branches for it to look like, you know, give that full like tree farm effect, but I think it might be cute. All right, well, this one really works actually. I put that planter that I have in the middle there with that big branch that I foraged, and that I feel like that really works. That looks really nice. Now, the other branches are not nearly big enough to like give a full tree farm effect. They look still pretty small, but you know what? It kind of adds, I need to like, I don't know, it kind of adds a little bit of greenery, and there's something growing in here. So I think I might leave it. It's kind of nice. You know, I don't have everyone in every bed. I guess I could go cut some more. This may be a little bit of a work in progress, but this is cute. And now I think I need to get some little, maybe we'll do some, girls and I will make some like ornaments. I don't know if I really want to bring a bunch of birds into the garden, but maybe that's not a problem. Do some little like ornaments, have like a little bird tree. This certainly makes this space feel more full and festive. So the question is, do I leave one individual branch like in each bed, or I could just pool them together and do like evergreen beds in here and just not worry about doing them like in each bed, because maybe it looks a little silly just have one little twig in each bed. These are going to be my container water gardens, like ponds next year, and so I'm not going to fill them. They've got some leaves or whatever, they're going to collect that. That's just going to happen. But I don't think I want to fill them for the winter, because then they're just going to freeze and unfreeze, and it's probably just not good for them in general. But okay. This was fun. Okay, I'm going to keep thinking about this, because I feel like there's, you know, don't mind this plant. This needs to go. I gotta take that back. Put it in the compost. It's kind of festive and fun. I'm gonna definitely be coming out here over the next couple weeks and finishing out, like I just need to clear out some of the dead branches and get these leaves swept up, and I want to get them all into the beds to mulch the tops of the beds, and just use the leaves as a little bit of a covering. And I certainly have plenty of leaves to do that, so that'll be good. Oh, I love this. This is so cute. All right, so it's the next day. I'm out here. I didn't end up finding any more greenery that was like really affordable or made sense to add to the beds. And I think it looks kind of silly just having like the one branch in each bed. So I think I'm going to consolidate them a little bit to these two beds here. And then I'm going to start the process of mulching in all of the beds. So I just want to rake up all the leaves. I got my rake here. I'm going to rake up all the leaves that are in the garden right now and just top off all the beds. I'm going to trim down any branches that I'm able to. Again, a lot of people like to leave, you know, different like things up in their garden to like help pollinators and things to overwinter, but we got a ton of forest behind us. I'm not really terribly worried about my pollinators having enough leaves to bed down in, and I'm going to leave some leaves in the bed. So we're just going to go ahead and start raking. This is going to be, you know, a bit of a process, I think, but I'm just going to start working on it and see how much we can get done. All right, well, at some point there, I just turned off the camera and got to work because that was a bit of a project. But look what we've got going on here. The whole garden. Look at how nice everything looks, just bedded in with a layer of leaves. I feel like it just looks tidier. It's all tucked in. I still need to add soil to these beds, but those leaves will compact, and then I can add soil on top of the raised beds, and then I'll probably remove some of the leaves that haven't decomposed and put more soil in and plant into these beds in the spring. But for the meantime, it just looks so nice. I absolutely Foraging for the greens and making these different kind of containers and stuff has made me realize that I do want to think about that when I'm planting perennials in this garden, thinking about maybe some more magnolias. Magnolias grow really well in our climate, and they're really deer resistant, which is one of the biggest challenges for me, is trying to find something that the deer won't eat. But I think magnolias would be great, and then that would be so pretty to have for making arrangements. So I definitely need to start, like, it's going to take years, obviously, you know, it's all still at the beginning here, but I think I want to think about what I can plant and where, so that I really do have this greenery that I can forage, that I can grow, so I can do things like this, because I think this is so fun. Like, just having a little tree there adds so much to the garden space and just looks, I don't know, it just makes it look so much more special. And then just using the leaves as mulch is super cool too. I feel like nature, you know, this is nature's plan. The leaves fall from the trees and they mulch the soil. They're covering everything. And so I have all this forest around me. I have these huge trees and this woods. And so I feel like I'm using it in the garden in a really nice way. I have done some mulching with leaves in the past. I do find they don't break down super quick. So like those, I will definitely have to remove some of those leaves or move them to a different compost pile in the spring when I'm ready to plant, because those will not break down all the way. But that's okay. That's not really a super big deal to me. I don't mind doing that. And for now, it's just covering the soil. So it's just gonna keep it looking nice. And also it'll keep out the squirrels and stuff a little bit, because they tend to not dig as much when there's a bunch of leaves. So the open soil, they want to get in there and like dig everything up. But if it's open like this, then I think they probably will be less interested in like getting into this soil and really digging everything up. So that is great. I feel like it looks so nice, and I'm just happy that we've got a little festiveness. I am going to come out and put some little ornaments on here. I'm going to figure out what I can do with my daughters or whatever that would be fun to make this just look a little bit more, you know, fun and Christmassy. But anyways, that is the garden. Really set now for winter. I did put covers over these two beds right here, and I decided I'm going to use those for my winter sowing. So put my winter sowing containers in those two troughs because they're empty. Of course, we've got the ponds that are empty, but just look how nice it looks, right? And then I took the cover off the bed that has the garlic down here, because I was thinking, you know, I think actually that elephant garlic is gonna get pretty big. So it's probably okay just to have that bed open like that. And I think that's gonna be great. So anyways, that is all for this project. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.